All right, I wanted to show kind of what an indicator color change looks like. It's going to start to turn color when you're adding your base, your titrant. So this is an acetic acid, dilute acetic acid solution, and this is about a 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide titrant in my burette. And I have phenolphthalein as an indicator here. I am wearing my gloves, my goggles. You can't tell, but I am wearing closed-toed shoes, so I want to make sure we have the appropriate attire. And when you start adding, actually let me turn my stir bar on, it'll start to turn purple, but you'll notice once it spreads out, it dissipates or goes away. Once it starts persisting or sticking around, you have to be careful how much you add. So maybe when you first started, you had your stock rack open and you're just blowing through your titrant, but when you start to see the color change, the longer it sticks around, the closer you are to the end point. And you don't want to add a ton. So what you don't want to do is add so much that you get this really dark pink solution. We want it to be as light as possible because that means we have the smallest amount of indicator in that form. That's the colored form. All right, so we're getting really close here because it's just a little bit pink and it stays around for a little while, so I just want to add a tiny amount. When you get close, just like any pH titration, you have that sigmoidal curve, so it's a really steep change when you're right at near the equivalence point or the end point. Oh, and see there, I overshot it a little bit, just about a half a drop too much. This is a little bit darker than I was hoping to get. But if you overshoot it a lot, in fact, we can keep adding and you can see how much darker it gets. So you don't want this super dark pink, even though that wasn't a huge difference in volume. The lighter the shade of pink you can get, the more accurate your volume, or yes, your volume measured for your titrant. One thing I do want to point out, when you're done with your titration, this really nice magnetic stirrer, I have a magnet. Get out your stir bar, your magnetic stir bar. These end up in the waste, in the trash can, and they're expensive. So help us keep your student fees low and recover those stir bars. So that's how we use an indicator.